AI in music is a really hot topic right now, and honestly, it's probably here to stay. So the real question is, what are some cool and ethical ways that we as musicians can utilize it to not get left behind? So in this video, I'm gonna show you 3 ways I'm using AI in my beats, as well as some creative ways that you can use it yourself. So there's this company called Moises that has a ton of dope AI features that I've been using, and there's this one feature it has that particularly stood out to me as something that could be potentially game-changing, and that is their voice studio. So essentially it is a state-of-the-art voice tone transfer technology that they've developed, where I can take a recording of my voice
and suddenly I sound like a woman named Kate? What's going on?
So I'm going to show you what it does and how to use it, and then I'm going to show you a super creative way I've been using it lately. So here's the voice studio. Now here's the cool thing about this and why earlier I mentioned ethical ways to use AI, because this is like completely legitimate vocal licensing right here. So as you can see, there are a bunch of artists. The first 2 are included in the pro plan, and all the other vocalists you see here can be purchased individually, and all the royalties go to these vocalists. So these are real people licensing their voice to this platform. But not only that, you get full rights to use these vocals almost however you see fit. So here's something I sang pretty badly earlier. I am as me as I can be. I literally sound like Kermit the Frog, bro. Now here's how Lauren sounds. I am as me. Here's how Derek sounds. I am as me. And here's how Anna sounds. I am as me. So you can use any of these vocalists. Let's use Ryan, for example, and here you can see what their optimal range is. So if you're good with your music theory and all that kind of stuff, and you know what key you're singing in, you can kind of use that as a baseline to see whose voice would work better with your voice. And if not, let me show you. So I can throw my voice in there right now. It'll process. And right here, it has a pitch change. So you can automatically adjust the pitch to match the model's range, which is what I've been doing. It just makes it easier. And then it's going to take a little bit to process. Okay, so this is good to know. Me and Ryan are actually in the same pitch right now, so that's dope. I am as me as I can be. Which is fire, but hypothetically, you see Lauren, Derek, or Anna, it shows how much they were pitched. So if you want to get it into your actual pitch, when you bring it into your DAW, you just see what that number is and pitch it up or down, whatever you need to do. And another really cool detail that you might have noticed is it tells you the recording equipment. It spits out like good quality vocals like you just heard. So you don't necessarily have to put the best sounding vocals into it. Obviously, the better they sound, the better results you'll get, but it really takes it to the next level. So the first way I see this being utilized for producers and musicians is if you, one, don't really like the sound of your voice, you now have access to a bunch of different voices that you can slap right on top of yours. But you can also, let's say you wanted to get like a choir effect, like you're working with multiple artists. You can record your vocal line, pick all of these artists, stack them together, harmonize them, all types of different things you can do with it. Let's say you're a man writing a song for a woman and you want the demo to have a woman's voice on it. Here you go. So that's some of the cool and obvious things that you can do with this. Now, the second really cool thing that is specific for producers that I think is fire, and I've been messing around with it a lot, is making samples. Here's a quick beat I cooked up earlier today. Pretty much in this beat, I sampled myself, sort of. So we're gonna go in reverse. Here's how I chop the sample. And here's the sample. I am as me. I am as me. As I can be. As I can be. Do 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 do. Yeah, 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 yeah. Does that sound familiar? Well, yeah, earlier I showed you a little snippet of that. So essentially what that sample is, I just made this little quick melody here. And then I sang this.
I am as me, I am as me, as I can be, as I can be.
Yeah, I'm not the greatest singer, bro, I'm sorry. But luckily, Anna is. So this is my voice, but the tone has been changed for Anna's voice.
I am as me as I can be.
But not even just that, the little backing vocal is actually Julia.
I am as me.
So I did have to pitch these a little bit to get them matching. So this is how hers sounded originally.
I am as me.
And yeah, that's how I made the sample.
I am as me.
And then I just bounced that out, chopped it up, turned it into this. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast making that. I mean, I've done my own samples like this before where I sample my voice, pitch it up, pitch it down, blah, blah, blah. But this just adds a whole extra layer to it. I mean, especially when you start getting into harmonies and this and that. I might even have to make a whole sample pack like this. Let me know in the comments if you'd like something like that. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm barely scratching the surface with what this voice studio can do. I highly recommend trying it out for yourself. Click the link in the description to sign up for Moises ASAP. And last but not least, the third way that I've been using AI quite heavily actually in my music is also through Moises, and it's their stem separation. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like it probably is the best that I've used, and I've been mostly using it for pretty much like all my remixes these days. But let me just give you an example, live and direct. You know, for copyright's sake, let's do the song I just put out with my wife, Nessence. It's called Elegant and Sweet. And look, these are all the options you can choose. They have like a regular, quicker version, but then they also have hi-fi. This is like the best quality stem separation I've heard. Normally I just do vocals and instrumental, but since we're here for the fun of it, let's do vocals, drums, bass, and other, just to show you like how advanced it is. As you can see, it already got the key and the BPM. It's still processing, but that's already set in stone. As you can see here, here's another song I did, point A to point Z. That's with my boy Grizzy.
Grizzy philosophy, I knock her down properly.
Solo the vocals there.
Grizzy philosophy, I knock her down properly.
And then there's also the drums. And also, if you're Ableton gang like me, I know you've been side-eyeing FL Studio because they have stem separation built in. Well, guess what, pal? Moises has a plugin. So boom, hypothetically, let's say I was doing a remix over this beat right here. I can pull up their stems VST right in here, and I can just like drag a file in or whatever, but let's just use point A to point Z as an example. We got the vocals right there. We'll simply just drag that to a new track.
Grizzy philosophy, I knock her down properly. I sell a dream, only thing good for me is crying to her friends, but to me that's some sneaker link.
Doesn't work at all, but that is a way to show you. And let's check back in on Elegant and Sweet. Should be done. I just want you to hear how good this sounds.
Let me take you on a ride. I'd like to have you by my side. Do not be afraid. I know you haven't gone this way in your life.
And it'll get the lyrics, dude.
Elegant and sweet. That's two things about me we have never met before.
I don't know why I need the lyrics, but that's sick. Moises alone is super dope. Definitely go check it out. The link is in my description. There's a ton of different ways to utilize AI right now, but this one really caught my eye, especially the voice studio, because the fact that the artists that are lending their voice are getting paid. So now that's a whole new source of revenue for these vocalists that I'm pretty sure a year ago, maybe even a few months ago, none of us would have even thought, oh, maybe I could license my voice to make some extra money. Is that going to be the next thing on on the 5 ways to make money as a musician video? Licensing your voice? I don't know, pretty crazy. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.